Hello everyone. Last month during our Independence Week, I posted an article in LinkedIn on the same topic and many people found it interesting. So I thought of making a video of the same. We are celebrating India's 75 years of independence with great pride. It has been a long and incredible journey since 15th of August 1947 when India gained freedom at the cost of partition. Now India is among the fastest growing economies in the world. The social and political consequences of the 1947 partition into two nations is well known. However, this Independence Day, I was exploring a little bit about how few industries and some private enterprises were impacted by the partition, sharing some of that history. We will divide our discussion into four broad sections. One is the impact on the few Indian industries, the impact on the British companies in India, the impact on Indian companies with pre-independence roots, and movement of businesses between India and Pakistan. Let's start with the impact on the Indian industries. Indian agricultural production received a setback due to the partition as a sizable portion of the undivided country's highly irrigated and fertile land went to Pakistan. The whole of the jute producing area became part of East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. On the other hand, hundreds plus jute mills remained in West Bengal. So India's jute industry temporarily suffered due to lack of raw materials and had to import from East Pakistan at high cost. Let's start with the impact on the Indian industries. Indian agricultural production received a setback due to the partition as a sizable portion of the undivided country's highly irrigated and fertile land went to Pakistan. The whole of the jute producing area became part of East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. On the other hand, hundreds plus jute mills remained in West Bengal. So India's jute industry temporarily suffered due to lack of raw materials and had to import from East Pakistan at high cost. India was the second largest producer of cotton in the world after the US. However, during partition, it inherited 95% of the mills from the pre-partition era but lost 40% of the cotton growing areas to Pakistan, creating a serious raw material shortage. Moreover, Karachi had been the principal port for imports and exports for both North and Northwestern India. Partition forced most companies to turn to the more distant Bombay port, which had an effect of pushing up cost of goods. Let's now discuss the impact on the British companies. Most British business communities stayed back while the administrative and military structure left India in 1947. This was possible because the British deliberately kept the business communities at distance from the administration. So they did not see any reason to leave, and the Congress wanted them to stay because their experience was valuable for developing the industries and it was not seen as a threat to the nationalism. Even before independence, Unilever started training the Indians to take over the junior and senior management positions instead of the Europeans. Soon after independence, Prakash Tandon, a Punjabi who qualified as a chartered accountant from the Manchester University, became the first Indian chairman of the merged entities that was named Hindustan Unilever Limited. 191 out of his management team of 205 were Indians. Now let's discuss the impact on the Indian companies with pre-independence roots. It is surprising but true that some of the business groups that emerged from the pre-independence, like the Tata Group, the Birla Corporation, Arvind Mills, Kirloskar Brothers, among others, were not deeply impacted by the 1947 turmoil. A key reason for this is many of these enterprises had done well out of World War II. The war created a major surge for demand for the Indian industry. The government placed on its own behalf and on behalf of the British and its allies large orders for domestic industrial products. So the established companies accumulated enough cash that helped to ride through the 1947 storm. However, some of the existing Indian companies had undergone massive changes. Number one, Mahindra & Mahindra. It was formed in 1945 as Mahindra & Mohammed by KC Mahindra, JC Mahindra and Malik Ghulam Muhammad. In 1948, Muhammad went to Pakistan to become their first finance minister and the company was renamed Mahindra and Mahindra. Number 2, Parle products. Supplies to British Indian Army during World War II included two popular brands, Gluco and Monaco, from Parle products. Their production was halted after independence for a while due to shortage of wheat because a lot of wheat cultivation areas went to Pakistan. So they asked their customers to make do with barley biscuits for a while until the supplies were restored to normal. Number 3, Hamdard. Set up in 1907, Hamdard's product Rooh Afza became the favorite drink for people in North and Eastern India. During partition, one of the two sons of the founder went to Pakistan and established Hamdard there, while another son stayed back in India to continue his father's legacy. Number 4, Godrej and Boyce. Godrej, established in 1897, was famous for its locks, but it had established factory lines to produce ballot boxes instead of locks for independent India's first general election in 1952. The government had placed 12 lakh orders for ballot boxes for use in 23 states. Now let's discuss about the movement of business from Pakistan to India. During independence, both Lahore and Karachi were populous business towns. Most of these businesses were owned by Hindus, including Sindhis, Parsis and Sikhs. Most of them left Pakistan for India in 1947. Let's take the example of Delhi Cloth and General Mills. Rai Bahadur Ramkishan Das Gurwale, a businessman from Delhi, established this mill in 1889. Later in 1934, Lala Sri Ram went to Pakistan to establish the Layalpur Cotton Mills as a branch of Delhi Cloth and General Mills. During the Second World War, Layalpur Mills made huge profits by selling tents and garments to the army. But this mill was lost during partition. So Lala Sri Ram, along with many other employees, migrated to India in 1948 and established the Swatantra Bharat Mills. Another example is MDH. Mahashaya Chuninal Gulati set up this company named Mahashian Di Hatti in 1919 in Sialkot, British India, now located in the Punjab province of Pakistan. Mahashaya Dharampal Gulati, the son of the founder, moved to Delhi after partition. He set up a shop on a shack and started selling spices like his father. Later, he set up his shop in Ajmal Khan Road in Carol Bagh and expanded from there. One of the most innovative things the company did is to introduce packaged masala, which gained huge popularity during the post-independence growth of urbanization in India. Now let's come to the conclusion. The hardship faced by the private enterprises and how they survived, bounced back, expanded and created great business empires is a great inspiration for the enterprises of today. The resilience, patience and perseverance demonstrated by the enterprises 75 years ago should be a learning for today's next generation enterprises to ride through the crisis of climate change, geopolitical tensions and looming fear of economic recession. Thank you for watching.